It is January 2021. Norah and I are on a trip further north in Sweden, following lower temperatures. A proper winter in the vastness of Dalarna, where the ice stays on the road and the trees wear their winter cloak. And somewhere along the lifeline of civilization lies a nature reserve. Impassable marshes in summer, in winter a playground with about 40 kilometers of prepared tracks. A playground only for the unmotorized, like us. With equipment and supplies for 2 nights, we head out to experience silence. Away from the road and snow scooters, with just the sound of our own breathing, with whatever song is on repeat in my head, and the creaking sound of the cold snow beneath that lets us glide.
So beautiful!
Thanks to the tracks, we can use our normal cross-country skis. All in all, this is not an extreme survival trip. It's just what our equipment and skills allow us to do. A journey into an unwelcoming but all the more beautiful surrounding. And the first few hours are about finding your rhythm and the proper layers of clothing.
I just wanted to ask if you could get me my down jacket from the polka.
Are you cold?
Yeah. It is a bit annoying that you have to take it on and off all the time. Whenever you need something. That's why you have someone to help you.
Thanks.
By the way, I just want to point out that I didn't gain a lot of weight. That's just the batteries for the camera and the drone, because the problem is with low temperatures that the batteries don't give as much power. Now even the jacket won't quite fit. Anyway, let's continue.
Towards the sunset, just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we had the most unbelievable random encounter with people. We met them on the parking lot already and decided that we will have some fika on the track. It is David and Matilda, and Sasu the dog. We have never met them before, but David also has a YouTube channel called My Northern Stories, plural. We both started in 2019, got in contact back then and said that it would be fun to do something together one day. But since we live in different parts of Sweden, we never managed to do so. And now we meet in exactly this random spot in Sweden, arriving at the same time with the car parking next to each other. What are the chances? David is faster with editing than me and posted his video of this trip already last year. They both take wonderful pictures and Matilda paints beautiful digital artwork as well. You'll find all the links in the description. Before it gets too dark, they head back to the car and we continue our way to our goal for the first night. Almost too unreal were the pictures we could take on this trip. I can't really explain what it is. I think it has to do with the low angle of the sun and the cold air. And then you just need to be in the right spot at the right time to witness the scenery the light paints onto this white canvas. Until the day is gone and the only light left is your headlamp.
Was a bit too steep for just the skis.
But you made it.
Yes.
We made it. We arrived at the hut. Yes.
Nice.
Let's have a look inside.
Well, there's definitely enough space for all of us.
Let's make a fire.
We actually didn't plan on making a multi-day ski trip when we drove north. So we were lucky enough to find this pulka to rent. We have brought our winter sleeping bags in case we would sleep in the car, but we didn't bring any winter sleeping mats. So we just got the next best thing for insulation. Styrofoam. 5 centimeters thick, works perfectly. Another vital piece of equipment is a good stove for winter. Besides preparing meals, you also need it to melt the snow for your drinking water or tea. And when you do so, be sure to start with a small amount and always have a layer of water on the bottom of the pot. Adding too much snow at once can suck up all the water and leave the pot dry, which could damage it. One good thing about winter trips is that you can bring frozen food. The cabin has an open fireplace, but since the room is so large, it's not really possible to make it cozy. We have no thermometer with us, so we can only estimate, but it never was above freezing temperatures in the room. So the best way to get warm is from the inside. In a cloudless night, the temperatures outside drop even more. I would guess somewhere around -15, which leads to the creation of a wintry mystery crystal world on the surface of the snow.
I'm sleeping. Almost. I think wintry is the best word to describe this day. A wintry day, followed by a wintry night. Jojo is already up and moving and filming. And I'm still half asleep. But the night was actually pretty okay. The first half, I woke up from time to time, and at 3 a.m. I had to go pee. And when I came back in my sleeping bag, I was cold. And I did manage to sleep quite well, but now when I woke up in the morning, I'm really cold. My Elskling made me a hot water bottle, I think. Tack så mycket.
Varsågod. It's quite bright and nice outside already. In here it's dark and cold. Probably outside it's cold as well.
It's not cold because I have a hot water bottle.
Great. Then I will now go out and film and pee.
Yeah, I will join you in a second. I think this is the quietness you were talking about that you only experienced in Sweden.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can experience it in other countries, but I know now what you mean. Each of us sleeps with 2 sleeping bags. So the question of today is, how many sleeping bags do we have?
As in the evenings, the morning routine is also dominated by preparing water. Water for tea, water for during the day, and water for breakfast. Again with the advantages of frozen delicacies. Another important piece of equipment, well, if a piece of equipment is not important, you should not bring it anyways, are the shoes. Not only shoes, but especially the socks. And what hides between them. With low temperatures, everything that is moist will freeze. So shoes that are not worn will freeze overnight. To prevent moisture from your body getting into the boots, you could either have special socks or just use a plastic bag. The best bags are those for the freezer, as they are quite sturdy. A simple trick that can save your feet and the whole trip. The first challenge of the day is descending the hill we climbed the evening before. With cross-country skis, backpack and polka, not a trivial task.
I also fell in the same spot. Okay, I'm ready.
You can carry all your equipment by yourself. Or you could also cooperate with local creatures that thrive in these surroundings. Might be a better strategy not only for winning the race to the South Pole, but also for enjoyment here in the north of Europe.
Just so beautiful. And I just remembered that actually at the moment one of my long-time dreams just became true without me actually noticing it. Because a couple of years ago when I was studying for film and TV, I saw in a magazine this article about this guy who does nature documentaries filming animals in the winter, and he was going through the forest, through the snow with skis and a pulka with camera and tripod on it. And I thought, oh wow, that would be really nice to do. And today I'm here with skis in the nature, in the forest with a pulka, with a way too big tripod, but a really good tripod. Yeah, we're just not getting paid for it, but what could be a better wage than this beautiful scenery here all around.
Well, last night we were at Flickeråsen and now we're going to Blomtäkt, which can be translated to flower pot, I think. So we're going to the flower pot shelter, which is here, and our car is there. So we're going back to the car tomorrow after 3 nights in Koppången Nature Reserve.
Today we are constantly going slightly uphill. The distance to the next cabin is only about 7 kilometers, but everything takes just so much more time in winter.
We haven't eaten enough today, so we just had a little break to eat a few snacks. Jojo is still eating, I think. It's getting later, it's getting dark and colder, but soon I guess we will reach our cabin.
We might still be able to reach the next cabin in daylight. But then I noticed that I am missing another important piece of equipment.
Well, I lost a glove somewhere back there. Now we discussed and we settled on that I'm going back with the backpack and Norah is trying the polka.
Let's see if I can carry it. No, not carry.
Drag it.
Drag it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Well, and now all the way back. Hello. Huh? What's so funny? Is it white?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sweating.
Your eyes. Oh.
Shall we change?
Yes. Have you found your glove?
Yes. Okay, can't be long.
No.
Okay. Let's go.
We made it to the second hut. It is dark again and it looks good. Jojo is coming up the hill. There he is. Like yesterday, it is quite steep to get up to the cabin. So I think he will get rid of his skis again, yes. And he just walks up.
Are we there?
Yes.
As we said before, the most important thing is when you're outdoors in winter multiple days that you don't sweat. We just broke that rule.
Yes.
So now I think I have one additional t-shirt. I think I'll put this now as a base layer, put the wet clothes back on again, and then continue to move, make a fire, make some tea,
Yes.
and all of this so that
Some food.
we continue to move now. Yeah.
Look at his frozen mustache. Yes. Oh. Oh, it is schöner. It is nicer than yesterday.
Oh, nice.
There are even some pictures on the wall.
When choosing clothes for the outdoors, especially in winter, it's good to avoid anything made from cotton. Cotton dries very slowly. Wool is much better, especially merino wool. But also a sweaty wool shirt would start to freeze when you take it off. That's why it's best to keep the wet clothes on your body and dry them with your body heat. I just changed the base layer so that I wouldn't feel the sweat on my skin and continue to move. This cabin heats up much better since it has a proper stove and the room is not that large. We even managed to warm it up above 0 degrees and use the heat of the stove to dry some of the wet stuff.
Very nice. Let's see what's for dinner tonight. We have a broccoli mix, which is frozen vegetable. We'll put that into the frozen water.
Yeah, okay.
The frozen water.
Let's put it into
Everything is frozen!
Everything is frozen.
Into the boiling water.
As the sleeping bag warms up with your body heat, some exercises help before entering the downy cocoon. And as if there was not already enough beauty during the day, we witness a faint glow of green on the horizon that night. A glimpse of northern lights. In the morning, the same ritual. For winter, the only good solution for a stove is a fuel stove. This also burns at low temperatures. Camping gas won't flow out of the bottle below a certain degree. Before leaving, we prepare wood and tinder for the next guests. Something everyone is happy to find when reaching a cabin exhausted. Outside, we are faced by an army of quiet giants in the fog. The giants are friendly, but the fog actually causes a problem.
We just wanted to leave here and film it with the drone, but the drone always kept landing by itself. And so I just figured out that there is a lot of ice on the propellers. And also especially on the underside here, there's also quite a bit of frost.
So no drone shots for today. Before returning to the car, we decide to go up a little hill. Without Pulka, it's so much easier.
Good.
And from there on, it only went downhill. In a positive way.
I want to go downhill all the time.
Until we return to where we started. Maybe a trip like this seems unthinkable for some of you watching. But let me tell you, it's not impossible. Just start with small steps. A night on the balcony or in the garden in winter. Ask people who have experience and knowledge. Plan your trips with enough safety margin. And then just go. Have a good time and learn from it.
Did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
It was also difficult.
Yeah.
Don't forget it.
I already forgot
In
it.
the end, you're like, oh, everything was perfect.
Whatever the season, it's
Good idea.
that was a good idea to get outside with the proper equipment.
Hey, Noah.
What you see here is not the reality. It is just a combination of pictures from a real event in an edited film. A condensed form of this journey's highlights, and those were abundant and outstanding. It is made to excite, to entertain, and to still leave you with enough time for the rest of your day. And when I look at these pictures, I not only see, but I feel. What shapes my memory is more than just an image of a wintry sunset. I feel the fresh air, my beating heart, feel the exhaustion again, the ice on my beard, and the sting of frost in my teary eyes. This is what cannot be shared. I can only urge you to go out and create memories of your own. Not just by yourself, but with others. Because a shared experience weighs heavier. So that you as well will have stories to tell.